Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you all. What a great day it is. Tell you how my day started. My first appointment of the day was over at the 21st Medical Group. I had some blood work taken. Yeah, that's fun. But my son-in-law told me to breathe deep. But the point I wanted to make is, as I'm walking up the sidewalk there to the front door, people are coming out. Young airmen are coming out. Young airmen are coming out with smiles on their faces. And I walk inside, and there is just this huge gaggle in the lobby there. I've never seen that kind of a group in the med group before. And one of our captains from PA, she and I walk in, what's going on? And they're all in ABUs. And this civilian comes up to me and she said, "We have a promotion ceremony this morning. We have one the first of every month." I said, "Really? How many airmen got promoted this morning?" She said 7. In fact, one woman sewed on senior master sergeant with 16 years in service. Hoo-yah, that's pretty awesome. And then the young airmen that took my blood, you know, just having a great day, you know, doing their thing. And then my first email of the day. I come back to the office, my first email of the day was an email that I get regularly. It was from Technical Sergeant Cindy Leonard from our PA, and she said, here's how she always starts. "Good morning, generals, ladies and gentlemen, members of Air Force Space Command," and she always concludes, "Have a great day," and today she said, "Have a great week." And I thought, my gosh, what two wonderful ways to start my week here at Peterson Air Force Base with you great men and women in Headquarters Air Force Space Command. I tried to do something a little bit different this morning. I put up a song on, and it was playing in the background, and you guys were chatting, and that's a great thing, because you were socializing with the men and women that you work with every day. The song, though, had some words that I'm an old guy, so I listen to old music. It was a Meatloaf song.
Who's Meatloaf?
Who's Meatloaf? Yeah. For those of you that don't know me, General Walters and I will have a special session after class today. So, but anyways, the title of the song was "It Just Won't Quit." And the folks, I happened to be listening to this in the car the other day, and I started listening to it, and it kind of had a theme there that really is why we're here today. Let me just read a few of the lyrics to you. "I always get these dangerous dreams, and I never get a minute of peace. Maybe I'm crazy, and maybe I'm losing my senses. Maybe I'm depressed, and I've got no defenses. There was a time when I knew just what I was living for. There was a time, and the time was a long time ago." Wow. Meatloaf singing that song. That particular song, as we looked at all the words, was about a love in his life that he lost. And that's not unusual. We've all, maybe not all of us, but many of us have had loves in our lives that we have lost. In fact, if I can be quite honest with you, I'm losing the love of my life as she's suffering from a pretty serious illness. But those words can apply to other things as well. We all have challenges in our lives. Challenges like deployments. And interestingly enough, when you come back from those deployments, and those of you that can testify to this, please do so today, you've changed. You're different. And if you have a family, your family is different. Because you went through something totally separate from each other. First time I went remote, my wife didn't know what I was going through, and our children that were 2, 4, 6, and 8 didn't know what Dad was doing. But they were home praying for me. And when I came home, it was a reintegration that had to occur that was very difficult. Very difficult, I must say. because my wife had to do all that by herself without me. We had the lanes in the road all defined, and those kind of evaporated. That might be one of the challenges in your life. One of the challenges in your life in this organization right here may be that your jobs were affected. This year we're going through a lot of conversion of contractors to civilians, and that's a tough road to hoe for those contractors and for those civilian positions that are very difficult to get on the books. Or you may be a reservist, and all those days that you were working for us last year and contributing to the mission have now evaporated. And you're looking for that next job, and in the economy today, it's very difficult to find out there. Or you may have financial problems. Or you may have just a whole host of problems, health problems, as I mentioned. So today is about coming together, sharing, hey, I got challenges in my life, and I need you, brothers and sisters, to help me get through them. And let me tell you something. Sometimes it's just listening. Sometimes it's just asking, how are you doing today? How are you doing? And when you ask that question, stop and listen to the answer. Because I've asked that question in the normal politeness of a day and kept on going 100 miles an hour. And then somebody stopped me and say, do you really care? And they stopped me in my tracks. And they pulled me back. And they made me stop and listen and think. And then I did listen, and I tried to become a better listener since that time. Today is about, as I said, sharing with each other and building resiliency. That's what we want in ourselves. We want resiliency. We want the ability to face those challenges in life that are going to come at us. There is no escaping those. But the good news is, if there's good news in that, is that it's normal. It's not abnormal. We all face challenges in life. We all have great days, and we all have days that aren't so great. And when those days aren't so great, I want you to talk to the next person, the person next to you, a person you feel comfortable and confident with, and I want you to ask, just share your feelings with them. There's 4 pillars that we want to be strong in. We want to be physically strong, and we talk about, making sure you take time to get to the gym. There's time for spiritual strength. You need spiritual strength, another pillar. And each one of us finds that spiritual strength in our own ways. There's mental strength. Have I taken the time to decompress after that day to give my mind a rest? And then there's a social pillar, that I've got the men and women that are my friends, that are my trusted colleagues that I can share those tough times with. Last year, we had 100 suicides in the Air Force. And that includes men and women of different ages. That includes active, reserve, guard, civilians. That's a big number. And already today, I think the number is 12 through the 25th of February. That's a big number too. Now that's an extreme, by the way. That's when, you say, I'm out of here, and you pull chalks, and you take your life. And by the way, while there's lots of different reasons for doing that, taking that extreme measure, the consequences of that are pretty much the same. The consequences of that is that the men and women you leave behind are scarred forever. And you know what we do? We bring in grief counselors. And we have sessions. You guys see this on the news and such. And we try to rebuild what was just torn down. And there are work consequences. Now all of a sudden that battle buddy that I've been dependent on isn't there to help me. And there's family consequences, and there's financial consequences. And I want everybody in here that ever thought about suicide, or know someone that has, to think about those consequences. And by the way, that's one extreme. There are lots of other things that can happen that show that we're on a destructive path. We might do harm to ourselves. We might start drinking too much. By the way, I will tell you this. About a month ago, I said, I'm not having a drink tonight. And I'm not having a drink for the next 2 weeks. Because I just wanted to make sure that I could do that. That it didn't have me, that I was in control. Some folks might take drugs. And as I said, some folks might, you'll see folks' attitudes change, and they'll start being defensive, and they'll start their attitudes will change, as I said. Pay attention to those signs. Know those signs. Be a good wingman and reach out and help somebody when you see something like that happening. Today we got lots of great events planned. I read over the ConOps and I read over each of your different parts of the organization's plans. You're going to have some small group discussions. Take advantage of those discussions. It takes, by the way, it takes great strength and confidence to open up to one of your friends. It takes great strength and confidence. And so if you're able to do that, my hat's off to you. And after those small discussions, you're going to go out and do some team building things. Some of you are going bowling, some are going to play pool, some are going to watch a movie, some are going to go have a meal together. All great things to do. We have literally set this day aside, and the Air Force says we're going to do this twice a year, set this day aside to invest in ourselves, to invest in each other, because we are worth it. We are worth it. You folks are outstanding. You are great. Every day I come to work, I am proud to say that I'm a member of Air Force Space Command, Headquarters Air Force Space Command, and our Air Force. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you do in support of our great nation and the families and friends that are outside those gates that we're making sure we take care of. I don't want this to be a downer day. I want this to be an up day. Just like Sergeant Leonard said, I want you to have a great week. I want you to smile. Those kids did when I came into that building this morning. I want you to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each other. And when you need help, I want you to ask for it. And if you're that battle buddy standing next there, make sure you provide it. I got one last song, and it's not quite as old as the first song that I put on. And it's by a group that you're more familiar with. They're the Beatles. And Jeff can... Florado was busy this morning. But, okay, yeah, they're old too. All right. But the song goes on forever. Hey, Jeff, can you tee that up? Maybe? You know this song. The sun's going to come up tomorrow, too. I want you all to have a great Air Force Day. Thank you very much.